Hello golfers, Will here, Golf Psychologist. Today I'm going to be starting a series on how to help you with your mental game. Let's get started. So why would you want to pay attention to this? I'm not on the driving range, as you can see. Instead of tuning out right now, I would encourage you to just take a listen and see what you can get out of this. Like I said, I'm going to start an 8-part series on the mental game, and this isn't going to be long. I'm going to get right to the point. One of the things in sports psychology, if I could put my psychologist hat on here for a second, is that everything that we do is research based. So what I'm presenting to you is not just some idea that I have, but it's something that's been developed in studies for a long time. In fact, this concept first kind of surfaced in around 2010, and although there's evidence of it surfacing prior to that, really the research started coming out around 2013. I am going to take you through how to understand and apply what is known as mental toughness. So for sports psychologists, what we have to do is work off of some sort of model, and so this is the model that I have chosen to do my research on, and so I can pass along this information to you. Okay, first of all, we have to talk about goals, and so I wrote down some things on this whiteboard to help you. The first there is goals. You have to determine what your goal is, and there's two types of goals. There's macro goals and micro goals. So you may be like a mid-90s player and thinking, I want to get down to shooting scratch. Hey, that's a great goal, to get down to par, but you may want to step back from that and put down a micro goal, like maybe something like, I want to break 90 on a regular basis. So if you average out 10 rounds, your score is like an 88 or an 87. Set a more short-term goal, and then beyond that, when you set that short-term goal, determine what you need to do to make that happen. It may not be that you even need to change your swing. Maybe most of the strokes you're losing are around the greens, and you just need to sharpen up your putting and your short game in order to get those strokes off your score. So first of all, goals is very important. The second thing is, I wrote down there MT, because that stands for mental toughness. So when you hear me say MT, that is what I'm referring to. Third, I have MTA.1. So we're going to be talking about mental toughness attribute number 1. Before I do that, I have this nifty little pie chart in the corner there. What you'll see is there's two 30% sections in the pie chart, and then one 40% section. So just to walk you through that, the first one that has an A there, that is your ability. And the entire pie chart has to do with performance. So any area of your life that you're wanting to perform in, whether it be your career or a sport or a fitness goal, anything that you're striving to excel in, only 30% of your performance is your ability. The other 30% that says an S is your strategy. So you got to have a strategy of how you're going to perform. The final 40% where you see the E is execution, being able to take the strategy and the ability and actually execute it when it counts. Now on the golf course, this comes into play where there's a time where you got to make that 4-foot putt to beat your buddies, or to, you know, make a birdie, or make a critical stroke for your team to win in your club event that you have going on. Whatever the case may be, if you can apply these things to those situations, you'll see how effective it can be. So execution is very important, and Today we're going to be talking about generalized self-efficacy. Definition of that is a belief in your abilities to succeed in your achievement context. That is where you can do some work, and I'll just give you a couple of tips of how you can apply this mental toughness point number one. It has to do with confidence in your abilities. So talking about that first section of the pie chart there, if you don't have ability to do something, doesn't matter if you have great strategy, even if you have great execution skills, you won't be able to accomplish your goals if you don't have the ability. So this is talking about being able to have confidence in your ability. And the way that you do that with golf is you do an assessment. And so I wrote down there, point 4, ability assessment. What you want to do is you want to have yourself go through the different phases of your game: putting, chipping, pitching, bunker play, iron play, and driving. And you want to assess those on a scale of 1 to 10. Then you want to have a buddy or a friend that you play golf with that knows your game, maybe even a golf coach or somebody that knows your game well, assess those areas for you as well, and see how close your assessment is to what another person would do. Then that gives you a little bit of a framework on where you're at in your ability and what you need to do in order to really have the confidence in those different areas to improve those different areas. Let's say that you find out that your weakest area, where you're losing most of the strokes, is when you don't hit the green and you have to chip on, and maybe you skull the chip, or hit it fat and frustration kicks in, and then you don't know how to get it on the green, and then you're so upset that you end up 3-putting, whatever the case may be. Maybe you can hone in on that being the issue. Then focus all of your energy on improving that. Instead of going to the driving range, go to the chipping green. If you only practice 2 hours a week, put that 2 hours into chipping and pitching. Don't work on your swing at all. Just go and focus totally on that. Get some coaching, get some help, look up some videos on the short game and see how you can get better. That's how you're going to move toward your goals. So I hope this was helpful. Please get in touch with me if you want to schedule an individual mental performance session. My website is findyourpeakperformance.com, and I'd be glad to set something up with you. Good luck with applying these principles and putting them into sharpening your mental game. See you next time.